Something about late-night phone calls, jealousy, and unfinished relationships has a way of turning ordinary nights into something much darker. Imagine trusting someone enough to sit in a parked car with them, thinking you're just there to talk, maybe clear up some drama. But what if the person sitting beside you already knows something you don't? What if, just minutes earlier, they secretly shared your exact location with someone who wants you dead? That's exactly what happened in a quiet Florida neighborhood, where a messy love triangle spiraled into a terrifying ambush. A masked gunman appeared out of nowhere and opened fire, again and again. 21 shots rang out in the dark, and somehow, the target survived. The story begins in Lake County, Florida, just north of Orlando, where what looked like a typical young relationship slowly turned into something far more dangerous. At the center of it all was 21-year-old Ariana Gage and her on-again, off-again boyfriend Brandon Perilla, also 21. The two had been dating for about a year, sometime through 2022 and into 2023. Like many young relationships, things between them were rocky. Arguments happened, tensions built, and eventually the couple broke up around August of 2023. Breakups happen all the time. People move on, meet new people, and life continues. And for a while it looked like that's exactly what Ariana did. During the months after the breakup, Ariana began spending time with another man. This man would later become the victim in the case. Reports about their relationship vary. Some say they were just friends hanging out, while others suggest it was something more romantic. Either way, they were clearly close enough to spend time together regularly. Meanwhile, Brandon wasn't exactly taking the breakup well. By late November 2023, Ariana and Brandon reconnected. The two started talking again and quickly got back together. But what happened next would shock investigators later on. Within just a couple of days of rekindling their relationship, conversations between the two took a very dark turn. Instead of simply moving forward with their relationship, the victim had already started receiving threatening messages from Brandon on Instagram. These weren't vague threats either. They were aggressive, hostile, and filled with intimidation. Brandon accused the victim of trying to challenge him and made it clear that if they ever crossed paths, things would turn violent. At one point, Brandon even bragged about what he might do if he saw him in person, sending messages that made it clear he was ready to take things far beyond simple confrontation. And it didn't stop there. Investigators later discovered that Brandon had screenshot some of those threats and sent them to one of his friends. In that message, he doubled down, saying that if he had to deal with the victim publicly, he would do it. He even talked about using bullets if necessary. By the time December arrived, tensions had already reached a boiling point. Just after midnight on December 1st, 2023, the victim picked Ariana up from her home. The plan seemed simple. They were going to hang out, smoke some weed, and talk about the situation with Brandon. The victim had been growing increasingly worried about the threatening messages he'd been receiving, and he wanted to understand what was going on. From his perspective, Ariana was someone he trusted, but what he didn't know was that things behind the scenes were far more complicated. As the two sat together talking, the victim asked Ariana something important. He wanted to know whether Brandon had any way of tracking her location. Ariana told him no. She reassured him that Brandon had no idea where she was. But that wasn't true. Investigators would later uncover something chilling. Just 12 minutes before the shooting, Ariana had sent Brandon a location pin showing exactly where she and the victim were. At that moment, the victim had absolutely no idea he had just been set up. During their time together, Ariana also received a phone call from Brandon. The victim noticed the call and even heard part of the conversation before it ended. But looking back later, it became clear that this call was likely part of the plan. Soon after, the victim and Ariana parked their car inside a quiet residential subdivision. It was late at night, the streets were calm, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Then suddenly, everything changed. Out of nowhere, a white Toyota Camry with dark tinted windows pulled up nearby. A man stepped out of the vehicle wearing dark clothing and a mask. In his hands was a semi-automatic handgun, equipped with an extended magazine. And within seconds, the shooting began. Gunfire erupted in rapid bursts as the masked gunman opened fire directly at the victim's car. Bullets slammed into the vehicle as the victim realized he was being ambushed. Investigators later counted 21 shell casings scattered across the scene. 13 of those rounds struck the victim's car alone. Other bullets hit nearby objects, including a parked work truck and even a residential mailbox. The victim immediately slammed the car into reverse, desperate to escape. Glass shattered, metal ripped apart, and bullets continued flying as he sped away from the attacker. The shooter even attempted to pursue him for a short time, turning the terrifying ambush into a brief chase through the neighborhood. In those moments, survival was the only thing on the victim's mind. Somehow, despite the barrage of gunfire, he managed to get away. Eventually, the victim dropped Ariana off near her home and immediately contacted his family and police. Miraculously, even after 21 shots were fired, he hadn't been hit. But the investigation that followed would reveal something far more disturbing than just a jealous ex-boyfriend pulling the trigger. At first, investigators believed Ariana was simply another victim of the terrifying ambush. After all, she had been sitting in the same car when the gunfire erupted. From the outside, it looked like she had barely escaped the same deadly attack. But as detectives began piecing together the timeline, small details started to raise serious questions. During her initial conversation with police, Ariana insisted that Brandon had nothing to do with the shooting. She told investigators that the masked gunman she saw didn't look like him. She also claimed she hadn't spoken to Brandon for several days before the incident. That statement would quickly begin to unravel. Detectives informed her that they would be examining cell phone records as part of the investigation. Once that was mentioned, Ariana slightly changed her story. She admitted that she had actually called Brandon a few hours after the shooting, but even that wasn't the full truth. When investigators examined the phone records more closely, they discovered Ariana and Brandon had been in contact multiple times during the late hours of November 30th and the early morning of December 1st, the exact time window surrounding the attack. In fact, at least 3 calls were exchanged between them that night. One of those calls even involved Brandon attempting to hide his phone number using *69. But technology has a way of catching up with people, and detectives were still able to trace the call back to him. Still, the phone calls were only part of the evidence. The real turning point came when investigators uncovered the text messages between Ariana and Brandon. Those messages told a completely different story, one that painted a chilling picture of planning, coordination, and intent. Instead of random threats or emotional arguments, the messages revealed the two discussing ways to kill the victim. Early in the conversation, they talked about ambushing him as he got into his car. Later, the plan shifted. Ariana would use the tension between Brandon and the victim as an excuse to meet up and talk. That way, Brandon would know exactly where to find them. At one point, Ariana even expressed hesitation. She told Brandon she didn't want him to be reckless with a gun and mentioned she didn't want to stay out too late. Brandon's response was chillingly simple. "He's dying." Despite those moments of hesitation, the messages showed the plan moving forward. Ariana ultimately played a key role in setting everything up. She updated Brandon about where they were and what they were doing, and eventually sent him the location pin that led him directly to them. Minutes later, the shooting began. Investigators later confirmed that Brandon's vehicle was seen on security cameras, returning to Ariana's apartment complex after the attack. Cell phone data also placed him in the same area at the exact time the shooting occurred. By the time detectives had finished analyzing the evidence, the picture was clear. Both Ariana and Brandon were arrested in March 2024 and charged with attempted first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. But what happened next surprised many people following the case. Instead of going to trial, Ariana accepted a plea deal from prosecutors. In court documents, she acknowledged the charges and confirmed that she understood the potential consequences. Attempted first-degree murder with a firearm could have resulted in life in prison, yet the sentence she ultimately received was... Ariana was sentenced to 36 months in prison, just 3 years, along with 6 years of probation after her release. Because she had already served a portion of that time while awaiting trial, she would likely spend far less time behind bars than the maximum penalty allowed. Meanwhile, Brandon, the man who actually pulled the trigger and fired 21 rounds at the victim, faced a much harsher future. And while the legal system delivered its outcome, one person in this story will carry the experience far longer than any sentence handed down in court. Imagine sitting in a car with someone you trust, only to realize you've been led straight into an ambush. 21 bullets later, and somehow he lived to tell the story. But the real question many people are still asking is this: was justice truly served in this case? What do you think? Was Ariana's sentence fair, considering the role she played? Or should she have faced a much longer punishment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into shocking true crime stories like this one, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves true crime just as much as you do.